Man that assumes he has a bee infestation uncovers a much worse problem. When things go bump in the night, it's hard not to imagine the worst-case scenario. Could it be a robber? A cold-blooded murderer on the loose? A ghost or a demon? Either way, the simple fear of the unknown is enough to leave you shaking in your helpless boots. Adam Herchen of Englewood, Florida, heard strange noises, which creeped him out to the point of incessant investigation, coming from the attic above his bedroom. He had theories on what he'd find up there, but none were remotely close to the sinister source lurking in the shadows. At first, married couple Bob and Linda Herchen weren't bothered by the curious sounds they occasionally heard coming from their attic. Believe it or not, the sounds went on for years. Now, upon hearing a bizarre noise coming from the vacant space just above your head, you'd think you'd be racing to get the house checked out. But Bob Herchen isn't like most people. Considering Bob is in the removal business, he's not skeeved out to get down and dirty with nature's little pests. He just wasn't motivated to get down and dirty with the one not paying rent in his attic. He usually works with bees, but Bob's no exterminator. Bob owns the Bob Herchen Bee Removal and Rescue Company, which aims to humanely remove honeybees from people's properties and relocate them to a safer place. It's an important job since bees play a vital role in our ecosystem. In fact, Bob cares so deeply about respecting bees that he's visited schools to share the story of his company and the importance of bees with eager children. Bob knows bees, and he knew there weren't any queens or trusty drone bees infesting his attic. I didn't think much of it. I thought maybe it was rats, the bee expert said when asked about why he never thought to go up into the attic and see for himself. Luckily, there was someone else who was a bit more curious. Bob and Linda's son Adam was a real worrywart. While his parents leisurely ignored the rustling above their noggins, Adam himself couldn't take it anymore, especially considering his bedroom was directly underneath the attic. Tired of letting his own imagination run away with him, Adam knew it was time to get to work on solving this problem. He went to investigate the repetitive commotion, which led him to the utility room. Dun dun dun. Well, in the utility room, Adam looked above him, having witnessed blurred movement through the old slats of the ceiling. He got a quick peek at the dreaded infiltrator and was shocked. He sure wasn't expecting a guest of this caliber. Adam rushed to tell his mother what he saw in the attic, which made her take the frightening matter to Facebook. Linda posted a status that exclaimed, "Home alone? Maybe, maybe not." When Bob finally decided to involve himself in the game of Clue, he witnessed the squatter as well, but this time on camera. Needless to say, the footage would have given John Carpenter a run for his money. The Herchen family eventually resorted to calling animal control, but by the time an officer arrived at their home, the creature had already ventured far away from the ceiling opening, making the officer's attempt to retrieve the invader a failure. Despite the failed capture mission, the Sarasota animal control officer saw enough to relay to Herchens that their uninvited guest was, in fact, a giant, potentially dangerous snake. Gasp! The officer identified the slithering serpent as a diamondback rattlesnake whose venom packs an often fatal punch. In the eloquent words of this animal control officer, "That's a big old boy right there. That guy will kill you." We couldn't have said it better ourselves. If animal control couldn't snatch the deadly snake, then who could? The Herchens even contacted the fearless daredevil nephew to put him up to the challenge, but his attempts led to defeat as well. That's when the family had one last idea. They contacted Mark Lampert, a friend of a friend, via Facebook. Mark is no stranger to fearsome predators, as he's posed with some of the world's most dangerous specimens on multiple occasions, making him the right guy for the job. He took on the mission with full force, dedicating several hours to finding the pesky viper. When he discovered a large piece of dry, shed skin lying around the attic, Mark concluded that the snake was living with the Herchens for quite some time. After what felt like a never-ending battle of mammalia versus reptilia, Mark the Snake Whisperer nabbed the snake's tail and yanked it from the ceiling's insulation. It turns out that the animal control officer wrongly identified the culprit. It was just a Colombian red-tailed boa constrictor. While the reptile is still considered dangerous, it's not venomous. Boas have sharp fangs, but it's their bodies that pose a danger. They use their muscles to restrict oxygen intake and blood circulation of other animals. So how did this big boy get in the Vanderherchen attic? Well, younger boas are semi-arboreal, meaning they can climb trees. Animal control said it got on the roof from tree branches, Linda disclosed to their Facebook friends. Thankfully, no one was wounded by the likely escaped exotic pet. If we have anything to say, it's that the Vanderherchens should demand that the boa hand over years' worth of rent.